Hey everyone, it's Sam from Raggedy Bits. Welcome back to another week of Waste Not Wednesday, where I love to upcycle old things and make them new again. Last week for Waste Not Wednesday, just while everybody's jumping on, if you see the little live button, oops, I forgot to change my camera over. There we go, so you can see things the right way around. If you see the little red live button just above here, that means you're catching me live. If you don't, that means you're watching the replay. And please don't forget to comment #replay and let me know where you're tuning in from. Because as always, I love to see where you are coming in from, and I hope I'm inspiring you to get busy crafting and upcycling and making old things new again. All right, I'm just going to quickly run through what we did last week for Waste Not Wednesday. Before I do that, I'm just going to quickly make sure that my technical side is all squared away. There we go. I'm just going to quickly run through what we did last week for Waste Not Wednesday. So we used an Amazon mailer bag and one of the Raggedy Bits printables. This one was the Halloween jack-o'-lantern printable, which is a new printable to my collection, and we transformed this into like a little pumpkin shelf sitter, and I added a little tag with a bit of a rusty label insert that you put on the front of drawers, a rusty jack-o'-lantern bell, and then I just embellished with a couple of bows and a little bit of green Spanish moss. So he turned out really super cute, I think. And please let me know in the comments if you had a chance to have a go and make one out of a mailer, or if you've done something similar. I always love to hear if you have. All right, guys. So what we're going to do tonight, I forgot to turn on my ghosties again. Turn them back on. So the next door neighbour's packing up late again tonight. So that if you're wondering what that noise is, that's late pack up for the factory next door. All right. So I thought it would be a little bit of fun because I'm in full preparation for this weekend's spooktacular market here in the Emporium. So I'm madly finishing off all the little bits and pieces for the market, and I have, whilst I was out thrifting, hey there Michelle, how you going, lovely? Hi there Dale, thank you for tuning in, guys. What a day it's been. Whew, it's been busy. The coffee machine got a workout this morning, I can tell you, which is great, which is really good. So I found these glass jars, and when I saw them, I hope there's not too much of a reflection on the screen, I thought, wow, these look like pumpkins. So I'm going to upcycle these and turn them into like treat jars and things like that. So there was two of them. Their lids, they've got lids, but unfortunately they don't seal properly. But I just thought for display, they'll work a treat. And all I've done to prep is obviously clean the, I put the two glass jars. I think one's slightly bigger than the other, or maybe they're both the same size. I put them through the dishwasher, and as I'm looking at this, these are actually screw top lids, but that's okay because I like the timber lids because of what we're going to do today anyway. So as I mentioned, they're like pumpkins. So I've got some printables, some tags here, and don't forget to comment link if you would like access to these. I've just printed them out onto cardstock. These literally took me hours and hours to design. I had a lot of fun, but they took a long time because there's a lot of layering in these ones, but I had lots of fun. So you there's a spider one, there's a bat one, skeleton key, a little crow, just a sort of like a typography one, and then a few sideways ones. We've got the spooky house, and then a witch. We ride at midnight, which I love. I love that saying. So I'm just going to turn that light up a little bit. I think I'm wrong way. Feels like it's a little bit dark than normal. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to put the glass jars aside. We're just going to be working on the two lids, which we're obviously going to turn into pumpkins. So I had two thoughts, whether we keep it neutral. We could paint the lids in like the rusty nail from Dixie Belle. Or I thought because they're the lid or the top of the pumpkin, we could paint them in like a really nice cactus color from Dixie Belle. So in the comments, you tell me what we should paint the lids while I get myself sorted. Okay. I kind of see, and I've got two little stalks here as well that we'll use as stalks. They're the little spindles that you've probably seen me use before. Hey there, Kathy. How you going, lovely? Hope you're keeping well out there. So yes, they're going to obviously be, I'm going to stain those in Tobacco Road. But I just was a little unsure on what to paint with, so you guys can help me. You think rust, Tanya? Let's see what others say. I suppose I could do one of each and see what turns out. We'll see which one's out. I also thought about even painting it in black. Rusty nail. So 2 rusts. All right, well, maybe what we might do is one in a rust, and because I suppose I could introduce the orange in the bow, because I've got that orange ribbon that I've used before. I think I used it last week in the other pumpkin. Or I can always use the tag here if I paint it black. So but it's not a traditional pumpkin, I guess, if we paint it black. So let's add a little bit of the rusty nail to one and see how we go. Okay, done with my foil. It's probably over on, oh no, here it is. That's a new packet, the loop. I must have my other foil over on my workbench, work table. Okay, I'm not going to cut myself tonight like I did last week and bleed to death. That was insane. Hey there, Gail. How you going, lovely? I hope you're keeping well. Okay. I'm just going to pop out some of the rusty nail, and then we'll go from there. I'll paint one and then we'll see what we do with the other one. I'm just going to decanter this because I've still got a few little projects that I would like to get done before Saturday for the Spooktacular market. I'm just going to take my trusty little brushes and I'm going to give it a coat of paint. Oops. I'm going to distress them as well because, you know, that's just what I love to do, but you could also just leave them as is. But I just thought I couldn't leave these behind because I thought they are the perfect little pumpkins. Has anybody else had any luck while they've been out searching for goodies to upcycle? Have they found a good treasure? And thank you very much to everyone who came along to the Sip and Shop night on last Thursday night. That was lots of fun. We had so much to get through. It was good fun. And thank you everyone for your orders. I really appreciate it. Times are tough here for small businesses, so yes, I really appreciate. It's a tough time for everyone, not just small businesses, I should say. Okay, so that's coat number 1. Hey there, Chris, how you going? You were sewing hair wraps for a market day on Sunday and lost track of time. Oh, you silly duffer. The day's gotten away from me. I don't know if that's been the same for you, Chris, but it just, like, I just seem to have blinked and it's like 7 o'clock. Like, I don't even know how that happened. So I'm just going to dry that off. What have I done with everything? Hey Hey Kayleen, how you going, lovely? I hope you're keeping well. I'm probably going to have to give this another coat. So if you're just tuning in, we're working on these 2 jars that I found out while I was out thrifting the other day. Actually, I found one ages ago, and then I found another one the other day, and I was like, you guys are too cute. You're like pumpkins. And I envisaged straight away that they would make really cute little treat jars or something like that. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm just painting the lids. We haven't quite decided whether we're going to do 2 in the rust, the lids, or we change it up a bit and paint one maybe in black or green. I'm feeling like it should be green. I mean black. What do you guys think? You're bamboozled by the whole year. Yes, I know, Chris. It's flown. Absolutely flown. I still can't believe that it's been almost a year since my dad passed away. Like, it's just, it still feels like it was yesterday. Like it was only yesterday. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hey there, Belinda. How you going, lovely? Black sounds interesting. Yeah, I think we should. I think we should be rebels and go black. I can always paint over the top of it if it goes pear-shaped, right? Okay, so that is the color rust for our first little pumpkin, soon to be pumpkin jar. Oh, hugs back to you too, Kayleen. I know it is really hard, and it's, I don't know, it's just such a weird feeling, because I mean, I know that I will never forget him, but I don't know, it's going too quick. It's gone too quick. And as I mentioned, like, it feels like yesterday that, you know, it all happened. It's just, and it wasn't a, it was horrible experience. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Okay, so while that one's settling, I'm going to paint the black one. See how we go. As I said, we can always go back over it if it looks a bit weird. Ooh, squeaky's next door. Okay. And I can't remember if I mentioned to you guys, but I know that a couple of you have been asking if you're able to buy bags of coffee. I know this is a random question because we're crafting, but the good news is that tomorrow I will be launching it on my website. So for those who would love to try, coffee lovers who would love to try Barry's Choice in the comfort of your own home, you can now buy it. You'll be able to purchase it tomorrow on my website. So that's a little bit exciting. And I'm sure Wendy will be absolutely thrilled when I tell her that you guys are enjoying it too. You love that color? Me too, Kathy. 10 years since I lost my mum and it's still, yeah. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm so sorry. I just wish I could hug everybody. Yeah, I know. That's so true, Belinda. Yeah. It's so sad. It's really sad. I'm sending hugs out to everybody. still struggling to even, you know, go over and, you know, sort out all of Dad's things. And, you know, like, it's all those, you know, those final things that you do, like, you know, I know that once that's all done, that we'll have to sell his house. And, you know, and I know it's just a house, and I've got all the memories that I have with my dad, but it's just like, you know, I'm not going to have anywhere to kind of go and sit and have a chat with him, if that makes sense. Hey there, Marie, how you going, lovely? I hope you're having a good week. We're painting some pumpkin candy jars here. So this is what we've done so far. We've just painted this lid in Dixie Belle Rusty Nail, and we're going a little bit rogue, and we're trying this one in black. And I've added something special to that. I don't know where that came from. Bit of paper. So we're going to have a look and see what that looks like in black. But we'll see. It may not work out, and I think I just wiped black paint all over my face. So there's always that. That's right. He sure is, Kayleen. He sure is. Chris, there's been nothing. There's been no movement there yet. So let's hope he's had his fun and stressed us all out. And he's just going to leave us alone now. Let's hope. Oops, completely missed that. But thank you for asking. Okay, so here's our black lid and here's our rust lid, two Halloween colors. So I'm now just going to grab my sander and I'm just going to distress them. I'm going to do it over my bin, and I'm just going to go around the edge. For those who have never distressed before, sorry, I'm not letting things dry properly. For those who get a little bit funny about distressing things, just like I always, when I'm doing a workshop or whatever, I always just sort of try, if you try and imagine where things wear naturally is where it is a good place to, you know, distress. So around the edges, obviously where we take on and off our, the lid, is a good place to start. I'll hold this up in a minute once I'm done. So I don't know if I mentioned, this is Dixie Belle Caviar, the black that I'm using. And don't freak out like when you're sanding, because it goes all scratchy, but we're gonna wax that to seal. And it'll bring back the color really beautifully. Okay, so that's all distressed now to my liking. I need to come back and just get rid of the rest of that black underneath from my fingers, but I'll do that off screen. And then I'm just going to do the same again for the rust. So what's everybody been busy creating this week since we last chatted? Let me know in the comments. I saw some beautiful, when I posted the other day, some cool Halloween projects that you guys have been up to. Sounds like he's chucking a temper tantrum next door. I might go join him. Go throw some steel around. So that's the rust, and I've just gone around the edges. Just grab cloth and get rid of any residue, because I will wax these, and we're going to just work on the stalks of the pumpkins that we're going to glue to the top. So this is what they look like on the jars so far. How stinking cute are they? So cute. You just started some Christmas crafts. I'm so looking forward to starting Christmas. I just needed to get a couple of things out of the way for the weekend, and then I am done with Halloween. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. I've got so many ideas swirling around in my brain, as I'm sure everybody does. But are you guys like me, and you think, right, I'm going to do this year, and I'm going to do all the things, and you don't get to any of them? That's me every single year, because I get busy with other things. So I'm just using, that just went everywhere. I'm going to be using the Tobacco Road, the Dixie Belle Tobacco Road, if I can get it out of the bottle. And I'm just gonna, it's going sideways. That's a first. The nozzle must be a little bit clogged. So I've just got a Chuck's cloth here, and I'm gonna wet it just a little bit. I'm going to take my little spindle, and I'm just going to stain it. I love this colour. So what are we snacking on tonight, Chris? Have we got any? Was it hot up in your neck of the woods? It got quite warm here today. Like I didn't feel too bad inside the Emporium, which I was grateful for, because I thought, oh, it's going to get hot. But it didn't. But a couple of people that sort of came from, I think, Richmond, said that it got really hot outside, but I missed it. I completely missed it. So I'm just making sure that I get into all the little, you could also use coming to me, the little not spindles, the stuff that we put cotton on. I'm sorry girls, but my brain is just going to mush this afternoon. And I also thought too, if I can find it, no, I can't find it. I had some old, here it is. I thought this would be cute as a little stalk, but I don't think I'd have to drill a hole in the top of the jar, which wouldn't be hard, because I love using bits of junk and repurposing it. You're out of ice cream, Chris. Oh no! So no snacks. Oh no, that's no good, Chris. That's no good at all. You'll have to come down and have one of the donuts from the coffee bar. They're so good. Not so good for my waistline, because they keep staring at me and say, eat me. I don't even know what my favorite would be. Oh, actually, I think my favorite at the moment is the apple and cinnamon croissant. It is so good. Oh, so good. Had a lovely group of ladies in today, and they ate the last one. I was devastated. I was like, no, I wasn't really. She thoroughly enjoyed it. Whoops. One lady in this particular group, she came all the way from Wollongong, which was really lovely. They've come up to North Richmond to hang out with a group of girls and have a girlies day and night. So it was very nice of them to call in and say hello and have a look at everyone's goodies. All right, so they're all done now, I think. So there's our 2 little stalks with fur stuck to it from the cloth. They can be furry, furry stalks. Oh, sounds like it's raining. Well, we are supposed to be getting a ridiculous amount of rain here. They were even predicting floods. So I heard, which I'm like, that's weird for September here. So I hope everybody, it's just, they're lying to us and it's not really going to be happening. Whoops. All right, so I'm happy with those now. So I'm just going to dry them off. So there's our little stalks. Okay, so I'm going to bring back the lids. So this is what it's going to look like so far. I think this one's a little bit bigger because of the lid. It's a bit thicker. Sorry, can you guys see that? So stinking cute. I actually don't mind the black. Which one's your favorite so far? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. All right. We need clear wax, and this is just the Fusion clear wax, my favorite wax. I'm just going to give them a seal so you can see, for those who've never done this before, you can see how it pops the color back out again. And you've got to always do this for those who haven't done this sort of technique before, so that it, because you're sanding it back, you're basically opening up the paint again and also the wood. So you want to make sure that it's sealed. And because this is a chalk paint, you're always going to get a little bit of, it's got the chalk element, I should say. You're always going to get a little bit of the color come off, but it's not going to affect your project. Okay, so you guys are going to have to help me in a minute. We'll decide which tags we're going to use to embellish. And I'll also seal the little stalks. There we go. This wax is Fusion Mineral Paint. Oops, let me turn this around. It's just a clear wax. It's absolutely beautiful. Goes on like butter. Really easy to use and apply. You can use a wax brush if you want, but for these smaller projects, I like to just use a chucks cloth. The wax is designed for furniture, makeovers and things like that, but I use it on everything. I love it that much. The thing you've got to be just a little bit careful of, you know, like, because these are raw, the chucks cloth is catching on the wood. So it even deepens the color of the tobacco road. So super cute. Super duper cute. I should hold on to something tonight. Okay. All right. So now comes the fun bit. We're going to embellish the tops of our jars. So let's first of all pick out what tag we're going to use. So there's jar number 1 and jar number 2. And I've got the Raggedy Bits Halloween tag printable here. So I'm kind of thinking that we, oh gosh, that went on the floor, that we use this one for the black one because it's got a bit of orange in it. And then what do you guys think for the second one? Shall we use, oh, there's going to be too many choices for you to, hang on, let me narrow this down. Just going to cut a couple out. Even though one with the skeleton on it would look cool. You think the pumpkin one, you like the pumpkin one? I think with the black, I think that'll look really nice. And I forgot to bring my cutter over. So at least we've made a decision for that one. So that's going to go with that. I think the Spirit Bride one is a little bit too light, so we'll put that one over there. So we'll do a toss up between the key, the spider, or the witch one. Okay, so for the second one, shall we do witch? So let me know in the comments. The witch. Oh, so Kayleen, you've said pumpkin on black and skeleton on the red. Oops. Yes, skeleton. So this is for the, we'll move this one out of the way. So this is for the orange one. So the witch one, the spider one, or skeleton? Key. Let me know in the comments. You don't like spiders, but the spider one is cool. Thank you, Key. I think Key would look kind of cute. All right, while you guys are deciding, I'm just going to grab my cutter so we get a nice straight edge. And pick up my other stalk. Spider's key, spider. Witch on black, witch. Oh gosh, you guys are all over all over. Spider key, two spiders, 3 spiders. I think Chris likes the spider. I think she might. And I think the spider won. So spider it is. We're going spider. We're going spider. And you know what else I did think, just saying spider. We got it, Chris, we got it. We could also stamp across here like something like candy as well. There's a bit of space there for you to type on something. I got it loud and clear. Chris, you're so funny. All right, I'm going to put that back over there and we're going to cut out the spider and the crow. Okay. So I've got my giant cutter here. This is the best thing. This is a Friskers cutter and I just love it because you get nice straight edges. When you cut all your goodies out, which is good. So I've printed the Raggedy Bits printable out on cardstock. So don't forget, if you would like the link to all the supply list, just comment link and a little message will pop up in your Messenger on Facebook. Just say that it's okay for me to send you a message, because Facebook doesn't like it if I just try and send you a message. So just accept that, and then the list of goodies shall pop up right before your very eyes. It's magic. And there's also the link to last week's Waste Not Wednesday as well. If you missed out on what the jack-o'-lantern project. These little tags would also look really cute on goodie bags, I think. What else would you use them for? Let me hear your thoughts. What would you use them for? I will look up in a minute. I've just got to make sure I'm becoming straight. And of course, we're going to grubify these because I forgot my hole puncher as well. I'm on fire tonight, girls. And I know exactly where that will be because I was labeling lots of new goodies today, and it's on the work table. So I'll have to run and go and get that too. So I got a nice hole in the tag. Ooh, that would be nice, Gail. That would be nice. I like that idea very much. Very cute. Because you could definitely adjust it to, if you've got access, or you can even take it to Officeworks and get it printed out on A3 and then make some bunting. Good thinking, 99. I just think adding a tag just adds so much, like it just adds that little bit of extra. Okay. I'm gonna run away again. I'm just gonna go and get my little hole punch. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a hole in there for us to be able to thread through. So that's what we're looking like so far. And I haven't cut right to the very edge. I've left a tight, like I haven't cut very straight, to be honest. I've left a little bit of white, but I'm going to be antiquing these anyway. So that's what our little tags look like so far. So cute. All right. Sorry about the noise, girls and boys. It'll be finished soon. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of coffee. I'm gonna have to be really careful because I don't obviously want to smidge, because this has been printed out on a inkjet. This could all go pear-shaped very quickly, but I have done this before and managed to salvage it. So I'm just sprinkling a little bit of coffee over the top of them. You of course could always pre-mix this. So far, so good. The cardboard's gonna curl a little bit because it obviously is just a little bit wet. You could also tea dye them. I'm just going to dab on some of the coffee granules where it's a little bit thick. And it's up to you how grubby you want to sort of go. Okay, I'm going to just dry that off. Okay, so that's what we're looking like now. We've bent back the other way. So it's just a slight little grubbying up. And I'm just going to grubby around the outside of each tag. So this is just the Fusion espresso wax. Again, another beautiful wax to use. I'm just going to dab off a little bit so I don't go on too heavy-handed. I'm just going to go back around the outside. Of course, you guys, if you don't like this grubby look, you can always just leave it. I just think it kind of adds to Halloween and spooky. And this shadowing sort of just gives it a bit of depth. You can also just splatter paint if you wanted to too, but I do like the color of coffee. So that's one tag. My inkjet print bleeds when they get wet. No, this has all been printed on inkjet, and I've just lightly misted with my mister bottle, and I've not had any problems with it bleeding. I wouldn't just go nuts with it. Mine do too, yet the girls in the US don't have a problem with. Oh. No, I've not had any problems, Chris. I'm sorry if that was a bit confusing. Like I'm pretty sure if I went really hard with water, it probably would. I know sometimes, you know, when I've been sealing printables and I've used a little bit too much of the sealer that I'm using, they have bled. But not doing it like this. And also too, this is on cardstock, so it's a bit thicker. So that might be why. Okay, so there's our little tags, and so as you can see, any of that the bits of white that I had around the edges, you can't see it now. It's magic. It's gone. All right. So now let's have a little bit of fun embellishing the lids. So go around this way. So we've got the. Okay. All right. So I was thinking either we add. Where's my thing? A little bit of, I need the jar to have a visual. Either we add greenery or we add Spanish moss to the top, or we could do one of each. Obviously not that much. Chop off a little bit. About there. Well, you could do both, and you could even add, not the green Spanish moss, but you could just use the plain, you know, the grey sort of looking one. you could add that, which I think I'm going to do. So a bit of that. A bit too much. Put that onto there, just so that gives it a little bit of height, and if I need to, I can come back and oh, that's so cute. And then I'll probably hang the tag off the edge so it sort of hangs down the side of the the jar, and then make a little bit of a messy bow up the top here. What do you guys think? You can use spray sealer. I use to print on an inkjet printer to death, and always seal it first. Yes. Oh yes. That is something that I now do. I did it the wrong way once, and I'll never do it again. I made a big mess. Okay. All right, so I've got my usual suspects. I've got a little bit of lace. I've got some buttons. I've also got baby's breath, which could kind of look a bit spooky too. But I feel like I'm going to have to grubby up. Yeah. Or we take away the greenery. Sorry guys, this is... No, I think we need the greenery on the black. Okay. There it is. I've just got some coffee dyed. I think we used this for the DIY surprise box. I did a whole lot in the projects last week, so I've got a ton of this left over, but I will have to grubby up some of this. So I'm essentially just trying to get my bow together here. So I've just laid that down just so once to see what it looks like. You could always use your bow dabber. If you've got a bow dabber, you could do it, but I'm just gonna wing it for the minute, just so I can have a look and see what this looks like. I'm liking that. Actually, the contrast between the two doesn't look too bad. So we might be able to, I'm just gonna do one of the lace on this one. So I've just tied that like so, as if I'm going to tie a bow. And then I think I'm going to introduce a little bit of the orange, I think. Don't you just love that when your ribbon gets into a mess? Maybe even some black, or maybe the black with the orange writing to go with the... to go with the lid. So I'm just going to kind of layer this a bit, and I think I'll finish off with the calico. One more thing. Okay, let's see what a little bit of orange, the orange ribbon looks like in here. I'll find the end of it. There it is. Happening in North Richmond tonight. We've got sirens. Let me just see what that looks like. I'm not going to be able to hold this up for you guys because I'm going to drop it. I'll end up dropping everything. Just wanted to see what that looks like. I think the orange is going to be just a little bit too much, so I'm going to pull that bow off and just keep the black at this point. Okay, just going to lie that flat, cut off a little bit of the black. Oh dear lordy, is my jute over there as well? A little bit. This is always the fun part. I love this part of embellishing and working out what goes where, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer than I'd like. Okay, so I'm just layering that on top, and then I'm going to do the same again with the calico, which I forgot to mention before, this is all just stained in coffee. And this time I'm going to do like a double bow. It's going to look all scrunched up, but that's what the look I'm after. I'm going to lay that over the top. Obviously, if you have a bow dabber, it's a little bit easier. And then I'm just putting it together so it looks like that. What do you think, guys? Okay, so taking my little bit of jute, I'm now just going to spin that around. I've just realised I can hear the coffee machine gurgling away in the background. I haven't packed down the coffee bar yet. I think I put away the goodies, the treats, the donuts and all the good stuff, but forgot to clean the machine and put it down. Turn it off. Silly me. It's not going to be a go straight home tonight. I'll have to stay back and clean up a little bit. But that's the side. That's what my day's been like. It's just been full on. Thank you, Dale. I'm so glad you like the bow. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a little bit of a haircut so that all my tails are the same size. Okay, so that's what our bow is looking like. And I'm just going to pull it around a little bit and get it at all different angles. Pull that down a little bit, that's a bit too short. And I'm going to grab my little pumpkin jar that we've painted in black. I'm wondering, what do you guys think? Should we put green moss on there, or do you think just leave it as the neutral moss? Let me know. I'm going to have to go grab my jute because I've left it over on the packing table. Please hold. Okay, so I'm just going to thread my little tag. That I've cut out of cardstock using the Raggedy Bits printable, Halloween tag printable, so it's looking like that. You think neutral, Chris? I think so too, after thinking about it a little bit further. All right, I'm going to commit. I'm going to glue that down a little bit in the center. And try not to burn my fingies. I've given up on those little finger protectors because I always end up using the finger that doesn't have the protector on it. Okay, and then I'm going to put down my greenery. How cute's this gonna look with some candy in it? Those little candy corns, which I must remember to order. I have found this American company here in Australia. I forgot, it's called USA Imports, I think. And I buy big bags of candy corn from there. I love it. And it looks so pretty in a candy bowl for Halloween. Okay. So I'm just going to hold that into place for a little bit. I may need to end up using some E6000. We'll see how we go. Just put a little bit more glue under here because it's getting stuck onto the moss. I want to make sure that it's all stuck down nice and tight, because I'm guaranteed that this is going to be grabbed to open the jar. So that's what we're looking like so far. It's so cute. What do you think, guys, so far? All right, I'm just going to trim my bow. And I'm going to pop that on. It's going to be crooked. Just going to glue my bow on. Gorgy. Thanks, Chris. You guys are awfully quiet, or I must be not seeing, maybe I'm not seeing comments, or you're just having a relaxing evening crafting away yourself, which is always a good thing. That's good. Okay, feel like this bow's just a little bit too long. I'm going to put some tails in the lace. Oops, pulled that a little bit too hard. All right, so I also have a little button. I like to put a, just wanted to see, no. So I kind of feel, oh, that's moved again. So stinking cute. I kind of feel this will be better around the side of the jar, only because if we put it up on the top, it's going to get, what do you guys think? Should we put it on the top? Hang on. I just feel like it's going to get bent if we put it there. Whereas if we go around the actual glass jar, it's not going to get bent. Do you see the method to my madness? What do you guys think? Thank you, Tanya. Oh, thank you, Christine. I love making bows, to be honest. I just think they really, down lower, I think it would annoy me with it on the top. Yes, I agree. Around the jar, around the jar. I probably, you know what, I'm going to make this a little bit longer so that we can go around twice and tie a bow off at the front and see what that looks like. If not, I shall put it the way I just had it. I always like to put the loop from front to back. So I find that that just makes my tags hang a little bit easier. They don't sort of like stick out. See how that's a bit flatter? If you go around the other way, it looks a little bit weird. Okay, so we want the tag off to the side a little bit. Just gonna have to turn that around a bit. Tight on that top little ringy bit. This might look like there's too much, yeah, there's too much going on. So we're going to tie this off at the back, I think. In a knot, like so. Give it a little haircut. And there we have pumpkin jar number 1. How cute is that? So you could imagine some, obviously I need to flatten this back down again because I hit it with the heat. That's a bit better. How cute is that? A little pumpkin from a thrifted jar. And I can't remember how much. I think I paid like $2 for these, or maybe 4. They might have been 4. So there's number 1, and let's just get on and quickly do jar number 2. Alrighty. So essentially we're just going to do basically the same again. I think the color tones will work well with this as well that we chose. And then that way, using the neutral Spanish moss, it'll make the greenery stick out a little bit. This stuff is so messy, but it's so effective. Okay. So just repeating the process. If you're just tuning in, we're just embellishing the second little pumpkin jar that I found while I was out thrifting not so long ago. And it's really weird because when I picked up the second jar, I saw them everywhere. They're everywhere. Every shop, every Vinnie's, Salvos I walked into, they all had them. And I'm like, this is weird. Everybody's getting rid of their pumpkin jars. Going to grab some more greenery because I'm going to use the end pieces. They make better leaves, but I will use the other ones as well in other projects. Okay. Let's get this part on first. Just hold that in place for a little bit so that it sticks. Oops. Just pop that to one side, and now I'm going to make my bow. But I mean, if you wanted to, as I said, you could also grubby up your lace as well, but I kind of like the contrast. I've got Spanish moss everywhere. Just get rid of this. Okay, bow time. So cute. So I'm going to go down with that one. The orange is definitely a no-go in against the rusty nail. So I think we might just end up using the Trick or Treat ribbon again. So probably made the tails on this bow a little bit too big. I'm wasting a bit of ribbon, but it was the end of the roll for the lace. Okay, so I'll just lay that flat, and I'm just going to do another double bow out of some coffee dyed calico. Alright, so I'm just going to lay that down and grab a hold of it. So there's our bow. I'll just pop a little bit more out of the black. So there's our little bow, and then I'm going to grab some twine, some jute. I'm just going to wrap that around again to create the center of our bow. Tie that off at the back. I would love to add some ribbon, some material to these bows as well, but I just have not had the chance to get to Spotlight to get some Halloween-y coloured fabric. I looked the other day in my fabric stash, and I don't really have any oranges, and I've got all the sort of like the vintage flowery sort of fabrics, and I thought, no, that's not really going to work for Halloween. I mean, it could if you wanted it to, but there's always next year, right? Although it's only the end of September, so. All right, so I'm just going to trim that up, and I'll show you. My bow. Just fluff it out a little bit. So there's, oh, this one's got a little hangy bit. So that's our second bow. This one's a little bit wonky, but I can faff around that off screen in a minute. I'm gonna, there's another tail there. Cut the tail in my lace. Glue him into place. there's little pumpkin number 2. And then I'm just going to attach my spider tag. Just bending back into place a little bit. So they definitely make cute little shelf sitters for decorating Halloween. Oh my gosh, I did it again. They'd even make nice little gifts if you were having a Halloween party and you needed to take a little hostess gift. You could fill them up with treats, or what else could you put in there? Cookies, whatever. Tie it off at the back. And there we go. I just wanted to quickly, sorry to hold you guys up. I'm just going to see what a little button looks like in the stalk part. Oh yes, that's a little bit cute. Yes, we're going to put a little button. 2 little buttons. If I can find another browny, blacky one. Okay, put the black one in the middle of this one. You could even embellish the tags with some buttons too, if you wanted to. Ouch, hot. Okay, so there we have jar number 2. How cute. Perfect little jars to make some pumpkins. Guys, there's number 1 and number 2. I will obviously take a photo of these. Oh, I can't lift them up. I'll take a photo of these and post these on my page tomorrow, so keep an eye out for those. And as I mentioned, if you would like to use the tags in a project, just comment link and a little message will pop up in your Facebook message, and you'll have access to those. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Chris. Oh, that's so kind of you, Pamela. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. Well, I look forward to seeing what you guys get up to, and let me know if you end up finding some of these little pumpkin jars while you're out traveling along, and what you do with them. You're going to check out the printable. Oh, thank you, Gail. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey there, Julie. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to love you and leave you and go and clean down my coffee machine and get home for the night. But I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight's tutorial. Thank you so much for hanging out with me as always. Before I sign off too, on Friday night, so the 27th, if you're about, I'm going to do a little sneak peek at the Emporium in time for our spectacular market on Saturday. So, yeah, if you're about, I'd love to see you. All right, guys, take care. If I don't see you on Friday, I'll see you next Wednesday for Waste Not Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Big hugs. Bye.